Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to Virtual Stars Podcast. All my loyal listeners, thank you for continued support. And remember, click the subscribe button, everybody. It's an amazing episode because Corissa Grant returns to the mothership. You know her as the co-writer of Worthy Chaos Redemption. Now come aboard as we go traversing the stars. Hi, Miss Grant. Thank you so much for coming back to the Virtual Stars Podcast.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Hey, returning champion. Always welcome back.
I feel like it's been forever, but it's only been since like July.
Really? It's been only
It's
since
like,
July?
yeah, it's like June, maybe June, because it was issue 4 and now issue 8's coming out.
Oh my
So
God, you have a tight release schedule, huh?
yeah, I'm every other month. Yeah.
My God, how do you keep up with all that?
I don't know.
How does your artist keep up with all that?
My artist, it's his fault. I mean, my artist is a machine. Like his artwork gets better and better, but he gets faster and faster. And my wallet gets like, less and less. But we actually have issues 8 through 10 already done. He's in the middle of inking issue 11, and we're only releasing 8 now. So we're like ahead. I'm thinking ahead because I'm thinking he's gonna be popular someday. I need to get ahead for when it takes him like 4 months to do an issue. So
Well, I mean, you're hitting your goals by quite a bit. I mean, you're not just like scratching by, you're pole vaulting over your goals. So apparently every other month is working for you.
yeah, the goal in like 5 years is to do monthly because we have 90 issues already written. So there's a lot. Um, and this series 1 is 45, series 2 is 45, and then we just started series 3 and we just finished like book 1. So there's like 5 books per series. And they're all connected, but if I had to, I could end it, at the end of that 5 books. So we're focusing on the 45 for now. We'll see how it goes.
Well, my issue 2 is coming out in February after a year. So apparently I'm not quite up to speed.
Yeah, it helps that you don't mind going into debt. So that helps me out immensely. And my husband's very, very patient when it comes to that because he knows that I'm super, super passionate about this story. Um, and I spend a lot of money on it. I pretty much I pay my artist every month for a full issue. So like he gets paid monthly. So I'm behind on the Kickstarters. I got to catch up the Kickstarters. But my hardcover came out for Halloween. So that was our 1 year was Halloween. This past Halloween was our 1 year in comics.
Oh, Jesus. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
You can have a 1 year celebration?
We did for on Halloween, and then this Halloween we're gonna hopefully have book 2 hardcover out, so we'll have like another celebration. If hopefully if my readers stick around for another year, and then yeah, we'll celebrate again. Yeah,
Well, that's cool. So, I
yeah,
mean, after 8 issues,
yeah.
how do you keep trying to like find ways to challenge yourself? Because at some point, I mean, you've kind of proven you can write the series. So how do you keep challenge yourself and make it interesting for apparently 90 issues?
Well, we wrote this while role playing, and the only way to get the other person interested to write back is to make it exciting for them to do so. So that helped. We did not write it with the intention of ever doing anything with it. It wasn't until we were at like the 45 issues where I was like, oh, we should probably do something with this, I don't know. Um, and yeah, then I said those infamous words, how hard can it be to make a comic? And it's the hardest damn thing I've ever done. So yeah. It
So,
helps to end on cliffhangers too. I'm like famous for 2 things. I'm famous for, well, 3, I guess, getting things out super fast, my cliffhangers, and like my plushies and stuff. So that's what I've been known for now. So
now, if I saw correctly, wasn't there an all plushie Kickstarter? I think I saw.
Um, there is one. It's in pre-launch. It's probably going to turn into issue 9, but I had so many people. So most of my plushies are handmade. They're limited edition. I get like 3 made. Then they usually sell out, and I may or may not get more. But this is our first commercially created Anubis. And so I had to buy like 100 of them. So there were people in the Anubis fan groups, I think I'm in like four on Facebook. They want just the plushie. They don't read the book or comics or anything. And some of them are kind of getting into the comics. But so I made this for them because they kept asking, when is this coming out? When can I get it? What am I going to do? I was like, well, I don't release till I have them in hand. So they're in the middle of getting made. Supposedly they'll be finished January 15th, and then I have to wait for them to ship. So it'll probably be a plushie only tier, like an issue 9, so people can get just issue 9, get that if they're not. I'm not sure if it's going to be a plushie only Kickstarter. I don't know if I have enough time because I like every other month. So like, when would I fit this in? So it's probably going to turn into issue 9, but yeah, it's going to have plushie only tiers, so people can get just the plushie if they want to. Yeah.
Oh, so how much is this plushie going to be?
So fortunately, the handmade ones, I don't make a lot of profit, and I have to sell them for like 70, $80. I get to sell him for about 29. So he's gonna be a
Really?
lot. Yeah, yeah. That's the benefit of buying 100 of them. I'm hoping that it's popular enough and I can buy 300, because then if there's even a bigger, gap. But I'm gonna see how they sell first, because I'm a wuss and I didn't want to spend. I was like, I could save $300 buying 300. I was like, oh, yeah, so we're gonna see how it works out. He's very, very well done. He doesn't come with this staff. He comes with a foam staff, and I posted to everyone and said, "Oh, should I do it with or without the regular staff?" And they all wanted it, but I don't like the quality of the staff. It was just foam, and it looks okay. Just to me, he's such high quality, and then he's got this little flimsy. So what I did was I got 50 without the staff and 50 with the staff, and this is going to be an option to get the 3D staff, which he holds. See, it comes off. So it's going to be an option to do because I'm going to have to pay extra for these. I'm waiting for my price on those. So with the foam staff or without the staff, it's going to be 29. The staff 3D might be, I'm hoping less than 5, but I don't know. Well, I'm going to only charge whatever I pay for it because, doesn't really matter. I think he looks so cool with the staff. So
Well, you might have already had another customer. My wife has been signaling me that she wants her own plushie now, so you may have one right off the bat. Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
my wife has a love for all things Egyptian. She was been apparently eavesdropping, and now that just cost me $29. Thank you very
I'm so sorry.
much.
I'll tell you, like, I was really impressed by this because the eyes are embroidered and everything. And when I gave them this design, I swear I was like, they're never going to be able to do this. Like, it's never going to look like it. Especially because his legs are kind of funky because that's how our style is. I was like, they're never going to be able to do this. First try. They're like, here you go. I was like, I want it. I'll take
Oh,
it.
so cost is $29 for that to get it made?
No, it's actually it's a little bit less than that because I bought 100 of them, but by the time they pissed me off because shipping was like 200, and then after I paid, they're like, "Oh, it's 350." And I was like, "What?" So I either paid another 150, so it winds up with shipping, and I had to pay for sample. So I don't make really any money on the first 100, but if I can get the 300, then I'm going to have a better gap because there's they give you um a price discount on it if you get so many. But that's why I kind of wanted to do it, but I wussed out. So if we're getting 100.
Well, the reason now that I'm asking is that for those who may not listen to the show and may not know, one or two of you, is that I have my own combo coming out in February, and now I got myself in the head that now a plushie of one of my characters' thrashes would make perfect sense. However, I now need the information from you to make this happen.
Yeah, I can
So,
send you the info. I got to tell you, I have started this plushie crave. This now I know 6 other creators that have made plushies. It's like an addiction. And then I have Travis who yells at me and says, "You have to stop with the plushies." And I was like, "No, I don't." And I actually have I just got in the mail 3 new ones. This Hellhound is new, but in issue 8 we have 2 new villains, I guess monsters or whatever. We have this giant salamander, who is, I don't know if you anyone that knows Resident Evil 2, it's my homage to the Lickers because those things were freaking crazy. But my new favorite one, and this is awful because I'm obsessed with it. We have zombies in straitjackets because they're in a haunted insane asylum. So I have a plushie zombie. And the it's got a working straitjacket. You can take the straitjacket off, but embroidered on the back is any birthday you want. So you can make yourself the patient number, or if you have a friend or somebody or family member that's too crazy for you, you can put their birthday on the back.
That'd be
So
perfect for my wife.
so this one's for you, and she gets the Anubis. So I see how it is. But yeah, he has these funky little hairs that are probably, I love him. But these are the two new monsters in issue 8. In issue 9, a new one comes. It's our zombie chameleon bats. They're chameleons with fangs and wings that have wires in them, so you can mold them. The tail has wires in it. But they're scary because they're vampire bats, but they can blend into the background. So like they can hide and watch you and all that stuff. And he actually one of them becomes a main character. So I had to, and his name is Chatty for chameleon and bat, and he squeaks a lot. So he's Chatty. So yeah, that's my obsession for this.
So when does the Corissa Grant plushie store come out?
Somebody just told me yesterday that because I have TikTok. I only have like 1,200 followers on there, but someone's like, "Oh, you could do the shop, and then you could sell like you should sell your plushies on the shop." So I don't know. I might get a plushie.
Well, there's always was it Etsy?
Yeah, Etsy too. Yeah, I heard there's a lot of fees in that. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to look into it. But yeah, everyone seems to love the because even if you don't read comics, they want the monster plushies. Like people so far, the most people have wanted was the Hellhounds, the zombie, and it hasn't even been released yet. I just keep I need the zombie. And then this everyone loves this. And I'm really happy how this came out because I never had used this plushie place before, and I was very, very nervous, and I got the name from somebody else, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it, but you have to, it's $100 just to get the sample done. So
Mm.
you're handing over, and I got 2 done. I do have another one. I'm not sure if I'm releasing this yet, but they did a Hellhound for me too. However, as much as I love it and the quality is great and the eyes are great, I don't think it would be as big as a seller as Anubis. As much as I already have people that want it, I think I have like a minimal amount where they could just get like the handmade one. So I'm not sure on that one yet. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's turned into a plushie show, man.
Oh yes, apparently. Well, I may be paying your campaign in homage by having a plushie to rip it off on mine.
Yeah.
Because
You know what? I am fully into supporting my fellow indies. I give them a lot of people have asked me for the printing for my hardcover because it's amazing hardcover. I got an amazing price on it. I had to buy 500 though. So that was a little tricky. I think there's 440 more to go to sell. But yeah, so I made the hardcover, and it did really well. I didn't expect it to sell as well as it did, but yeah, it paid for the printing and everything. So
well, like I said, for anyone who's wondering about Kickstarters, the best Kickstarter steal from someone who did it better. So that's the lesson everyone should learn. If you have a Kickstarter, you want to do it, find someone to steal it from, the ideas from, and
there
then
you
do
go.
yours.
Yeah. Yeah, someone looked over my Kickstarter yesterday, and they're like, it's like a shop because I have like 27 tiers, and it's like all of these plushies and 3D statues and everything. And I actually have clay statues coming, but he's taking his sweet time, but they look amazing. I got an Anubis done. I got I'm gonna get a zombie with the straitjacket one. I have to you're giving me bad ideas, man. I should stop talking about this. But now I'm going to add that to it. I want a zombie in a straitjacket. So, but he made me 2 hellhounds. He made me a cute version and he made me a mean version, and they're both awesome. And I already sold 2 of them, and I haven't even got them yet because I know which ones my fans want. So I'm like, hey, look what I got in. He's like, I want it. I was like, I know.
Wait, you also have clay versions? Is that what you're saying? They're like
Yeah,
statues?
so I have let me see if I can show you
We're doing
one.
like a little infomercial here.
Yeah, yeah. So I have somebody now. I've been using this person for like 4 or 5 years, and they've been making me statues that I can't find. He'll make them for me, and he does an amazing job. But he makes them all out of clay. So I sold these out already. I kept one, of course, because I'm me. But so this is made out of clay, and it looks. I
I'm sorry, I'm looking at my wife. I'm just trying to make sure she doesn't see it.
Yeah, so there's this one, and he made this and it looks phenomenal. He made another version of it. He made between me and you, he made me a skeleton bird one, but I have yet to put it up for sale because I love it, so I haven't put it up for sale yet.
So how much are
Uh
these?
yeah.
What tier?
I sold these were really expensive. So this one I paid 150 for. Yeah, 100 something for the really, really detailed one. That's the mean version. That was 200. Someone does want one of them. So I did. So I have no more for sale if he actually buys it. But the skeleton bird and the zombie merman that I sold the zombie merman. That was 100. Um, yeah, so pretty much I just put it for what I paid for it. But yeah, so he's awesome though. He can do anything. So right now he's doing my vampire chameleon bat. He already did two versions of the hellhound. He did Anubis. He's gonna do the salamander, and now he's gonna do the zombie because I just thought of it.
So when you're writing these in the future, how much is it? Hey, this would make a great plushie. Let's put him in the comic book.
I'm
Or
not
how
gonna
much
lie
is
to
it?
you.
Is which tail is wagging which dog at this point?
So the only one that's been made to be specifically made to be marketing and added into the story was the vampire chameleon bat. I wanted one to follow her around, and so I had to get that man. I was like, what would be really cool to see? I wanted a dragon, my co-writer wouldn't let me, so that was the closest thing I can get to a dragon. Um, but yeah, I absolutely that was definitely a commercial grab, but mostly because I wanted to have them. So one's mine, one's my co-writer. And if anyone pre-orders, you get to pick whatever color you want. This is my co-writers. You got the orange, and I'm getting the teal because that's what he is in the book. And I was like, I have to stick to what he is. But yeah, the wire is the most expensive part of the whole damn thing. But at first, I was going to have him have a broken wing because he gets caught in the door. But my artist is very forgetful. So I'm like, I don't want to keep reminding him that he has a broken wing. So no broken wing, but we still have the wire in there. So he still looks cool. Got a little smile on his face. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. I like how so much of your story is now becoming this three dimensional. So like, eventually you're gonna get to like this Nightmare Before Christmas slow motion
Would be awesome.
the stop motion animation
Do
eventually.
not put ideas in my head. I was thinking how expensive it would be to do an animation. I was like, but I can do claymation. It might take me like 5 years, but I could do a claymation. So, yeah, shut up.
You gotta do each issue at a time. Claymation.
Yeah, yeah. I watched the behind the scenes of I was saying Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare Before Christmas was one of my favorite movies. So I could totally I don't have the patience for many things in life, but this story seems to hold my patience a little more than anything else. So yeah, this might be a thing. And this would be all your fault, by the way. So if this happens, I'm gonna have dedicated to Jeff.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
Dedicated to
yeah,
Jeff
absolutely.
for causing 5 years of pain.
That would be like, thanks, Jeff. You tortured me for 5 years. Thank you. Appreciate
That'd
it.
be one of my proudest moments as a host.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
telling
able
you.
to cause 5 years of torment to one of my
Now,
guests.
everyone's scared of AI, and my husband's scared of AI because he's got a band, and he's like, well, eventually it's gonna be all. I'm gonna tell you, like, I think that people will always want the original stuff, like the claymations and the 3D. People still want the 2D animation, you know. So everyone's getting scared about the AI. Obviously, I'm a little worried about it, but to me, I think it'll make other creators be more popular because they'll want that, you know, they don't want the same thing. And I was talking about it when, when the camera came out, portraits cost more. You used to the only way to do it is to get your portrait painted, and that was the thing that people did. Now to get your portrait painted, it'd be like a couple $1,000. So, I think that's how it might be, and I'm hoping that's how it might be for the AI that comes out. The people that do the original, that write their own, that get real artists, that are real musicians. I think that they'll be valued more than just animation from an artificial,
So,
situation kind of thing.
so when are you getting your first 3D printer to make your own of figures and whatnot?
And I already looked into it. I somebody recommended one, and I might be getting it. The only thing is I really want the resin one, and I'm torn because one, people said it has a lot of maintenance, and like I said, I'm lazy. So I may or may not get that, but it looks so much better. Like I have so I have these, I have three 3D printed plus the Hellhound. So I have these 3D, these are cheaper.
Just hold them up on the side. Make sure she can't see them.
Yeah, so I have this version. I have another version which is the bane of my existence because he has a staff that breaks. It drives me crazy. So I have those. But yeah, if I might I have the files for it, so I might get a 3D printer. I'm just I'm kind of hoping that if I wait one more year, you can put the color through. Like now you could pick one color, but there's one or two that can do like a level color. I'm like, if I can just print it out to make it look the way it looks. So we'll see. But yeah, I would save a fortune by getting this.
You have like the ultimate like commercialized campaign that I've ever so much of, I mean, how difficult is it to organize? Okay, so I've done that one Kickstarter with for my End of All Terminus comic book from anyone who knows they said the one or two of you from last year. Um and it was a bit of a pain in the ass. I mean, they mostly only bought the comic. People didn't go the other tiers, but they did buy the comic books, and that's a pain in the ass to organize the addresses, keep in mind who you've already shipped to, that kind of stuff. How in the hell are you doing it, which is far more complicated to what I'm doing?
Um, well, I probably have less followers than you. That helps. I have like 100 backers, and I do ship the day after or the day of sometimes. When my campaign ends. So that makes it a little more tricky. But yeah, the only thing that's annoying to ship is probably the statues. Um, so that's why I only have like one or two. The plushies I ordered bigger boxes. That's it. I
Now,
throw them in there.
then I assume these are you have to insure these
Yeah.
figures because they must get some issues of breakage.
The only one that the only one that broke was twice for my biggest freaking backer, and I have to send him another one. And I've insured every single one of them, but I haven't claimed them yet. I just want to get this damn thing to him. So if it doesn't work this time, I have to refund him, which I'm gonna be very upset about. He's like 3 hours from the house, so my husband's like, "Why don't we just drop it off?" I was like,
Might as
"That's
well at this point.
I might at this
It's
point."
cheaper.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be it's going to be cheaper. But yeah, that so far has been the only one that's annoying. I mean, the plushies are easy to ship now that I bought the boxes. I used to have to be like, what box do I have that these are gonna fit in? So I upgraded my life and ordered boxes for like $1 each. So save my life. This staff though, I love Anubis, and I think I owe a lot of my success to him, if not all my success. But this damn staff, man, I mean, it's just awful. It's just a pain in my ass.
I mean, basically
Um,
what you're looking at right now is that you need the 3D printer,
yeah,
Amazon style warehouse, and a delivery system, and you should be all set.
yeah, I think that'll work out that way. Yeah, I think that's all I need. But now all I'm thinking about is after this, I have to write to my clay artist and be like, all right, I need a zombie in a straight jacket. That's all I'm thinking about. But yeah, I got really lucky because Anubis wasn't originally in the novels like this. They were like he was like in one or two chapters. But when I saw him drawn out, I was like, ah, I love him. Like I just love him. So I added him to the rest of the story, and he becomes a main character in issue 24 on, like in book 4 and 5. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the rest of the series, he's in it more too. Everyone loves him, but he's just now that he has a pet hellhound, he's even cooler. Like I've had him play fetch with the hellhound twice now, and it just looks such a cool page to have him throw a stick for a hellhound. And the two characters are making fun of him because like, why is the tall dog playing fetch with the short dog? So in my head, I'm thinking, this is Goofy and Pluto, but okay. So
Well, when you're at this point, it's like I said, you've written 90 issues. Two things pop in my mind. First, at what point has the characters now dictated the story for you? Is my first.
Um, they write it. I have no idea what's going on. Like they write it for me. I've had an argument with a character in my head before. I was writing a scene in usually the character writes it, and I usually let the character write. I just sit down and write. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just sit down and write. However, there was one time in book 5 where I'm sitting there typing away, and it makes no sense to me. Like I'm like they walked in a room and the floor feels weird, like cotton, and these things are attached to her, like they hit her, and I'm like, what the hell am I writing? Like I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And the character in my head, I swear to you, is like, just keep going. It's gonna make sense. And I'm like, no, I have to start over. And they're like, just keep going. So I wrote like I think 2,000 words. It was like one of the coolest scenes I've ever written. I have no idea where it came from. I sent it to my co-writer. My co-writer is, what the hell? She's like, that's awesome. And she's like, where did you come up with that? I was like, no idea. She's like, I can't wait to see what happens. I was like, me too. So yeah, the characters are fully in control. I'm just a vessel for the typewriter, for the typewriter. That's how old I am, for the laptop to type away what they want. But yeah, they're in control.
Well, how about now that you're written up to 90 issues,
Hmm.
is there ever looking back a desire to I need to fix or I wish I had done something different in these earlier issues now that I know what I could be 90 issues away?
The only thing is adding Anubis. Like I wish that I had added him more, but he just wasn't as cool in the book. Like I didn't really think about it. But when you see him written, I mean, when you see him drawn out, he just looks so cool. So that would be the only thing. Because I still, I did I finished script 19 today. So the other thing that made me mad was I didn't number it correctly. And so when I went back, there's one page marked the same, which means now I had to come up with 3 extra pages because you have to go in fours. And I kid you not, I did. And when I got to the end, I was one page too far. And I was like, so like I had to like go back and edit a little bit to be like, all right, I have to take something out. But yeah, it was a little difficult to do the scripts, like where it's going to end and which cliffhanger am I going to use, because there's a cliffhanger every other page. So like, which cliffhanger am I going to use this time? So I have them separated for all of series 1, and it equals about between 9 to 11,000 words per issue. Um, and my issues are longer than most people. At least most people I know. Most people have it around 22, 24. No, mine are all 28 to 36. So, and let's see, 7. Issue 7 was 44 pages, and issue 12 is 44 pages. So, whoops. And I don't charge more. So, yeah, that's fun. It's a horrible
So,
addiction.
the characters are rated like for instance, issue 7, right? You
Yeah.
have a fight between Ramiel and Ishma. I can get
Asma. Yeah.
Isma.
Yeah.
And they're basically at the point where they're going to be fighting with each other, which issue 8 doesn't resolve. So it's sometime in the future we got to resolve what happens here. So was this always the direction we were headed in? The characters just kind of got to the point where you thought to themselves they're going to have to punch each other at some point. How did this play out?
Actually, that was another thing that changed. They weren't in the book at all until series 2. So you'll see my characters will never see them, the 2 main characters, because they don't interact with them in the book, and it would ruin series 2 if they knew who they were. So they're pulling the strings. They always pulled the strings. They just never had as much interaction in the books. So it's kind of cool to have that. I love the banter between them. Like adding them was like my favorite thing besides Anubis. Just having them banter back and forth was fun. And I had never seen Good Omens, but after someone's like, it's like Good Omens, I was like, now I gotta watch Good Omens. But yeah, and then somebody in an interview said, so are they really friends? I was like, no, they're not. Asma is he likes to torture Rimmel, but Rimmel hates him. So, and there's more to it there. So they both want the angelic weapon from Seraphina. It has the power of souls, and they can tip the scale of the war between heaven and hell in their favor if they have it. Unfortunately, it requires Seraphina's soul to activate it. So obviously she doesn't want to give that up. But there's another reason that her father wants it, and that doesn't come out for quite some time, though he hints at it. He mentions it right away in issue 3 of why he wants it or what his plan is, but he doesn't obviously give it all away, which tortured one of my friends because then I had to explain it all to her. She's like, I need to know now. I was like, really? So I'm good with giving people spoilers.
Now, would Sarah and Draven be better off if they continue to fight, or is their union better in the long run for what else could
So
be after them?
what originally happened, which there's also been a hint at, Camiel will talk about it. He talks about it once or twice. So there was originally a prophecy that said once an angel and a demon fall in love, they require to stay together or war will start between heaven and hell. Well, her father tricked the prophecy and tricked their guardian angel, which is Camille, Camiel to separate them because he changed the prophecy to say that once an angel and demon fell in love, they had to be separated or war started. So by separating them, they created the war. So it's better if they are together. So the problem is though that they're soulmates, so they reincarnate and they don't have memories of it, but every life they reincarnate. Draven finds her and they're instantly pulled together and they stay together. However, if she's used in the weapon, her soul will be destroyed and he won't ever see her again. So she won't be in heaven or hell, or she won't reincarnate. So there's a higher stake now than just dying, because if they just died, they would just see each other in the next life. So the stakes are her losing her soul. So she doesn't know if she should keep fighting, but obviously he won't let her. For those that don't know, Worthy Chaos, I've been asked why it's called that. She is the Worthy Chaos to him, because everything she does is chaotic, but it's worth it to him. So she's the Worthy Chaos.
So if she doesn't go to heaven, she doesn't go to hell. Where would she go then when she died? Like, what is there then for her?
She would just cease to exist. Her soul will be used to fuel or energize the weapon. So her soul will be completely destroyed in being used. And that alone, since her and Draven share a soul and he's a demon descendant, if she disappears, he will go completely dark and pretty much destroy most of the planet. So it's probably not good if that happens. It did almost happen in the last life when they trapped her soul so that they could try to use it, but Draven went dark. So they had to contain him in hell. He doesn't have any memory of that. That was their last life, which I'm writing. That's a prequel. Um, but because of that, they can't take her soul without destroying him first. So it's kind of this paradox they got going on, like which the chicken or the egg is to be destroyed first. But yeah, that's the father wants it, like I said, for another reason, but Asma wants it to power the war against. If he has that, he could pretty much destroy heaven just using it. So it wasn't meant to be a weapon, but it has the power of souls. Remnal in scripture, he used to judge the souls on earth and take them to heaven. So I came up with this weapon that he carries the souls in. So that's how he would carry the souls from heaven. It's from earth to heaven. So that is what fuels it. And now Easma is trying to get that weapon. But without him knowing, Remnal used it to create Seraphina because he fell in love with the goddess and angel can't have kids. So in scripture, he created the first Nephilim, which is half angel, half human. So she's kind of that, but not as ugly and huge as those things are. So yeah.
So for your cliffhangers, you have issue 8 ending with Sarah being pulled into, well, she's in a lot of trouble. She's like pulled into like a ghost realm. Am I understanding correctly? Or is this some other type of realm that's going on there?
Oh yeah, I forgot to give you 8 too. So what it is there's ghosts that power the asylum. There was a big thing that happened, which I think they tell you at the end of this issue or the next issue. So no, she got actually pulled into the next room by a ghost, but the wall closes after it zaps him in there. There's a panel that opens it, but I don't think we used it because I said panel to my artist and he put a portal. So I was like, well, that's even cooler. So there's a portal that goes to the next room. But it's just a room where the nurse and the patient used to go to be frisky. So it's just a secret room that they used to go in. But it was cooler when he drew this portal thing. I was like, that looks awesome. So I stuck with it.
So what side? So there's heaven, there's hell. What side would ghosts be on?
That's a good question. I guess kind of like I don't even have them in the war. The war that happens in series 4, yes, there's a series 4. There is uh Anubis with his army of mummies, Hecate and Hades with their army of zombies, and heaven and hell with their own soldiers. But now I need a place for, I guess it would have been on the side of probably more hell, because ghosts are usually like, not happy. So if I had to choose, I'm going to say hell, that they would side with them. So, but I didn't use them in the war because it reminded me too much of Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
And I mean, how do you fight against ghosts in a war? Like they came in and Lord of the Rings and just demolished everybody. So that's why Hecate and Hades has zombies, which my characters are not happy with because they've been fighting zombies this entire series, and all of a sudden they have to be on the war with them. So, but whatever, you don't want to fight against Hecate and Anubis. So
So I mean, how much have you made it? Because obviously, in this world that you have, you're eventually it gets big enough, regular people are going to figure this out or be up to what's going on. So how have you determined how this will change? Like your everyday life is obviously gonna be a little bit different when the a war of hell, heaven and hell breaks out around you. I mean, you're not. I mean, I assume we're not going to go to work anymore. I mean, at the very least, is there any
so
like? Are you like how far have you thought about the scope of what the impact of this is going to be?
so the town itself is closed off, and so that doesn't affect the rest of the world. The war does affect it, and yeah, it is all hell literally breaks loose. So yeah, it's pretty much an apocalyptic situation where well, the joke is because there's a joke it's supernatural that there's no toilet paper left.
Oh, I
But
love that episode. That was the that's said by the guy who eventually proves to be God. Uh,
yeah, Chuck. Yeah,
Chuck.
like
Uh,
hoard toilet paper.
like it's gold because it will be.
Yeah, because it will be. So that's the part joke that's going to be in ours is the toilet paper. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be completely apocalyptic. That's after the 90 though. We haven't written that yet. So that's series 4. That's going to be because at the end of series 2, the war pretty much starts to develop where one of the angels goes to heaven and lies to them and says that these characters are fighting against them when they're not, but she wants revenge, so she's going to start this whole war, and it's heaven that actually teams up. So eventually heaven and hell team up together against my characters Anubis and Hecate and Hades. So for it's not going to last their alliance, but to begin with they're going to fight together, so you're going to have heaven and hell fighting against my characters. So it's kind of a tricky situation there.
So how are you going to hurry up fast enough that we can get to this story of the war?
My goal is to, like I said, eventually be monthly because I'm fast enough to do it and I have the issues to do it, but I don't think people can afford it yet. I don't have a big enough following. This was my largest following of backers. It was 121, which to me was like amazing. And this is my largest pre-launch, which has 119. So I was thrilled with that too. And that doesn't relate technically to backers, but it's still an ego booster there to see 119. So I was thrilled with that. So yeah, you every time I think about an issue, I'm like, I can't wait to get to this part. Like I can't wait to get, especially issues 13 through 23. It's book 3. Now I wrote book 3 first. That's what I originally wrote before I met my co-writer. And that was the only story that I really had in my head. And then we got a little out of control and got 13 more books now finished. Counting part of the prequel. So yeah, I want to see it all. But book 3 is it's all Resident Evil 2 inspired. Like I'm so thrilled to get to this. Writing the scripts helps. I wrote issue 19 today and I was like, I can't wait to get to this part. The only nice thing is when I finish a script while I'm writing it, I can picture how my artist is going to draw it. So I kind of get a little bit of joy from seeing it in my head, but it's not the same. So yeah, it's tricky.
So since we teased issue 8 pretty hard, when is issue 8 going to be kickstarting?
So issue 8 is Monday, January 8th. So it's gonna come up now, and issue 9 is March 4th, and then it's every other month. And then the hardcover will be out in October or November.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So for issue 8, how much of what you told me for what these plushes of these are going to be in that campaign?
Oh, so the plushies in that campaign are the ones that are in that issue. So we've got the Hellhound, we've got the giant salamanders, and we have the zombies because the zombies will be in that issue. And the only other plushie I think we have, and I only do this because they sell out for whatever reason. The skeleton birds will be there because they sell out every time. So I figure I might as well add them in there. So this is my most plushies yet. There's going to be 4. Yeah, there's going to be 4. And then a pre-order because I only have one available because I'm not gonna believe this. My mom bought one. So I don't know why she doesn't like horror, she doesn't like zombies, she thinks he's cute. That's why. So she got one with her birthday on the back. Don't ask me why. So I'm like, well, crap. Now I only have one zombie for this issue. But I am gonna put a pre-order tier and a pre-order add-on so that this way people can change the date to whatever they want. So if somebody wants the Hannibal Lecter number on the back, I was like, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be a lot of plushies. There's like 27 tiers. And it's so funny when I launch because I don't do live launches anymore because when I'm on a show, it takes like 20 minutes for people to read through my campaign. So there's like nothing for like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like back. So so it's like heart pounding for like 20 minutes. So no more live shows for my for my launching. Too much heart attack.
Well, it sounds like you have mastered the art of the Kickstarter campaign at this point. I'm not sure what you're going to do next to top yourself, but like I said, you need to put one of the Anubis's stuffed ones aside because apparently you sold one to my wife. Thank you very much.
I will say for one.
Now I'm doomed you for the stop motion because of that. So now we're a little even.
Yeah, we're literally, and I'm getting a freaking statue of my zombie, so I'm two for one. But yeah, I'm definitely I would love to do stop act. That's all I'm gonna think about now because I could totally do that, and I could probably have this person do it because he uses the lightweight clay. So I'm like, I wonder if you could do it like jointed, where I could do. I know you need all those faces. That's the hardest part. Like I think Jack Skeleton had like what 150 faces or something.
Yeah.
So that's a little trickier. So yeah. But not that Draven doesn't have a lot of emotion. He's either angry or worried about it. So
that's why you get the 3D printer.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're racking up my credit card bill like this much. I started my own business 6 years ago, and I got all these credit cards with high limits, and it's not a safe thing to have.
Oh, trust me, I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Grant, it's been an absolute honor to speak with you so much, and
Thank you.
I've learned so much about the merchandising aspects of Kickstarter. And apparently, like I said, you definitely sold one already. So thank you so much.
Oh, and tell your wife I'll send her a free the gold plated coins. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
No. All right. So you're selling too many things to my wife. Anyways, let's stop before I need an extra credit card increase.
Yeah.
But like I say, I greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to the campaign starting. You said January 8th?
Yeah, and real quick, let me just tell you, I don't know if you know this, but Jeremy Rampak, who did the interior art for Resident Evil comic book, did a cover. So there is a cover by him, and it's freaking phenomenal. If you look at my pre-launch page, that's his art, and it looks amazing. So that's definitely a variant that's in. There's only 25 of them. But it looks freaking amazing. It's one of my most expensive covers, but it was so cool to have Resident Evil artist. Buffy artist is next, by the way. March is the Buffy artist, Carl Moline. And then Kevin Sharp is going to be, I think, issue 11. And he did Army of Darkness interior art comic book. So yeah, I went all out on the covers and spent a fortune. So now I'm broke, but it's all right. It's all right. I got this. But yeah, if anyone wants to find me, all they have to do, screw links, man. Just search for Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. I'm the only thing that pops up. So it's the easiest way to find me.
Oh, like I said, so this will be out either on the 5th or the 6th. So we'll be just on time for your Kickstarter. So people get backing, make these plushies happen. More of them. Always make her spend more money on some more plushies. Let's go.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
That's good. I got more ideas, especially Nightmare Island is all monsters. So there's like a 3-headed monster with like an alligator, a bear, and a lion. So yeah, I got plenty of plushies coming. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Totally my pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Traversing the Stars podcast. Please help me battle the algorithms by liking and subscribing. Be sure to return for the next episode when I talk Master of the Universe with writer Tim Seeley.